Hey guys, today we're gonna kind of switch the roles, and I'm gonna do an interview on Kevin. So he's a college basketball player and my best friend. The first question I want to ask: who was the first person to bust your butt?
Dang. Like in high school.
Anything.
In high school, probably R.J. Fisher. When we played them my sophomore year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah.
Is that the only person?
It's just like older guys when I was growing up, like Josh Elix, Drew, Taylor, like just older guys. Like when I was like 13, for that, it was bad. Halliburton guys, like people like that. But yeah, but like in high school, I remember probably R.J. Fisher.
Yeah.
Would be like that one. That like really got me. Defensively, he wouldn't do much like offense, but like defensively, he got me.
Right.
Yeah, it was bad. I was like 15, 16. He was like, I was like, like 15. He was like 18, 19 years old. He was already like D1, like football, and he big. You know what I mean? I was like 150
So that was what? Your
pounds.
sophomore?
He was my sophomore year. And yeah, he was like 100, and he was like probably 200, and I was like 150. So he was just like out muscled me, but they get molded me to what I kind of became.
So when did you first realize you were an athlete? Like your earliest recollection?
Early on, really, I was like 5, 6 years old when I was playing in Oklahoma City. When we stayed up there, I was playing like heavy like basketball, like 24/7.
So what made you like feel like, oh, I want to do this, and like I'm like good?
Really, it was a guy named Trey. I haven't talked to him since I like left out Oakland when I was like 8. But like he was the best player on the team. What he was doing at 8 years old was crazy. He he know how to like go between the legs. He could do right, left hand layups. He was really, really good, and I was like, I want to be like him, because he was like the star player of the team. And I was like, and I was like, I want to be better than him. And then I always wonder how he ended up turning out. But yeah, he was like the man. Trey was really good.
So you figured it out like pretty young.
Yeah, pretty young, because growing up, I watched Mom play in the adult women's league. I always heard stories of Uncle Buster playing, Grandma, and I was like, it would be cool to be like that, kind of carry on that tradition.
So I know you had a kind of a hard time in middle school. So can you explain the scare you had in middle school and like how it affected you?
Yeah, so in 8th grade, I was getting ready to go to the Elite 150 camp in Dallas. It's like a big, huge camp you go to, and I was gonna be one of the younger players there. And that was February 28th. I'll never forget. February 27th, we went to I had like a last minute checkup or whatever. That was my like appointment. Then they said I had maybe I had Marfan syndrome, which is like a big heart condition, like where you really can't play. Isaiah Austin he was an NBA. He has it, but yeah. So I didn't get to go. I was out. I think that was like 2 months, and it killed me. I couldn't like. Jocelyn was like tiny. I was like 8th grade, so I couldn't pick her up. I couldn't run. I couldn't do like anything really like to get my heart racing. So that was tough. That was like 2 months, but I ended up beating that. So but that made me realize like that at any time like you can't like is.
So is that like how it motivated you? Was like
Yeah, I would say so, because like you never know when it could we could go out there and mess around today, and it could and it could be over with.
Right.
So you never know. That's what you always that's why because I took it for granted at that time. When I was in middle school, I was real cocky, and I thought like nobody could touch me, and I was like I'm whatever. And then like kind of when that happened, it kind of set me back,
So that kind of leads to my next question of how you like transformed as like a person and a player, like over from middle school to high school. Like,
really,
how do you feel you did?
I feel like I could have played on varsity my freshman year, but we had like 12 seniors. You know what I mean? So I kind of was on JV or whatever, which was fine. It was still a learning adjustment.
Right.
So I learned a lot. Jamar was the coach, and I had some pretty good. Renee, Joel, they did different things. I just tried to take what people did, and like Renee worked really hard. He was really vocal. Renee would always talk. Joel could dribble really well. You know, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
there's little pieces of what, you know,
Like
you
everyone.
have, you know,
Yeah.
you take away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that me been playing JV my freshman year helped, and you know it helped that Josh Baumgartner on there, Sam, Derek, like people like that
Mm-hmm.
were like on there with me, so it was fun. And then like sophomore year, got to start on varsity. You know that's a fun JV to starting on varsity. That's a big
Mm-hmm.
that's a big jump. Played pretty well sophomore year and junior year. Just played well throughout. But I always tried to keep a even head. I never tried to get too big. Like people, Kevin, you scored 40. Well,
Right.
I just never really wanted to let that get to me at
Right.
all. So
So, what was your favorite high school memory?
not sports wise.
It doesn't have to be, or it can be.
Well, all right, sports wise, probably when we beat Durant. We were down like 27 at halftime, came back and won. That was fun. High school memory. Honestly, probably graduation because I was like done with high school because I really wasn't like high school was cool. But,
That was probably mine too.
Probably graduation. Yeah. You know, I wasn't really like nervous. I was like, we finally get to go. Like we're out of here. You know what I'm saying? But probably graduation.
Because then you had graduation, then you had like project grad afterwards, which is like you just get together with all your like
friends,
other like seniors, and you have like a fun time.
But it's the end of people you really might have not talked to.
Right.
You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
high school, like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, like like you want to play.
Mm.
You know, whatever. You know what I mean? So it was fun. Probably graduation. Wow, if I had to choose like a high school memory.
Because I know you all stated
Yeah.
your senior year, and you joined the 1,000-point club.
Yeah.
And then you eventually got a college scholarship. So how was all of those like? How did that like just all come together? Because that was all in 1 year.
Yeah. So my junior year, like junior heading into my senior year, was that? Yeah, I didn't have any scholarship offers. Then, I was wondering like, hey, am I gonna be able to play in college or whatever? Like, I know I can score and stuff, but whatever. I know I can play deep. Whatever. And Dominican University in Chicago gave me my first chance.
Right.
And then I feel like, it's a trickle down effect. When you get that one, they're like, okay, who is this? Whatever. So it was a D3 school. Then I got some others. That's when Tabor came. I think Tabor came second. Then other schools started pouring in or whatever. And then I was okay, so I can actually play, And then the 1,000-point club or whatever. It was a big feat because nobody I've known has really ever done it.
It's a milestone for sure.
Yeah, in Duncan, so I definitely wanted to, be one of those guys. I always have my, my name somewhere, over the years, so it'll never go away. All-State was great because I was the first person to do it in basketball, girls and boys, and probably in a while.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool to represent Duncan. I almost tore my knee up at the All-State game, but that was fun. I was extremely lucky or whatever to have some cool teammates. Sam dished me out 25% of my points.
Right.
He was great. And Javion, guys like that. And, but I wasn't always just real mellow. I was always kind of a hothead. Younger, I was just so frustrated because we were losing and everything. But,
That's why I wanted to ask the middle school to high school to, like, see how you changed, like, not as just a player, but as a person.
Yeah, but, losing, I mean, it helped me, especially our sophomore year because middle school we won championships with Jamar's AAU team, the Impact, when I played with them.
Mm-hmm.
One freshman, we went 28-2 my freshman year. And then sophomore year, we went like 5-17, and I was like, I was like, these dudes can't be this good to where we can't win.
Yeah.
And then, but as you get older, get stronger, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It gets a little better.
So I know. So once you got your college scholarship, you committed to Tabor, and you went up there for a year.
Yeah.
Due to Corona, you didn't really get to finish out your full year, and you decided to transfer to MacU in the city. So what do you expect in your next years at college?
That's a great question. What I expect.
Like out of yourself, out of the team.
To win, they have a winning culture, kind of like how y'all do. Yeah, they have a winning culture. They're usually first, second in the SAC every year, competing in nationals. I like the coaches there. The school seems great. The living conditions probably be a little better.
Yeah.
You know.
It's always a plus.
Yeah. That's what I expect. Me as myself, you know, trying to hone in being like a better student, I guess, because I had a good spring semester before, but like my fall semester, it was kind of hard, you know, just right when you
Just
get
that
there.
first transition
Yeah,
out of high school.
probably just being a better student, you know, studying more, because I kind of underestimated actually studying and stuff, you know, so probably those couple deals. But basketball has been the best basketball player I could possibly be. You know, getting stronger.
Always.
That's a big thing for me. 'Cause I'm kind of skinny. Always trying to get bigger, get stronger. So, you know, and going from the KCAC to what's kind of like you know, to the SAC where everybody's like pretty good. Yeah. So being one of those guys to actually, you know, being a winning coach. Successful. Get So.
Yeah. All right, so this moves us to our bonus segment, like you do in your videos.
Okay.
And I think I have some pretty good questions for you. So the first one is, if you could play any other sport, what would it be and why?
Play any other sport? Probably baseball. Baseball's fun. Like you play softball. One of my other good friends, Josh, he plays baseball. Caden, he plays baseball. So like. It would, you know, it would be cool. I don't think I would want to run track. I would love to play football. That would be fun.
Yeah.
But probably baseball would probably be the main one. What about you? What would you want to play?
Volleyball. I've always wanted to play volleyball, but in high school it was always like in the same season as softball.
Yeah, I like volleyball. I played intramurals at Tabor. We got it wasn't good. I like volleyball though.
So the next one is your funniest moment in your life ever. Like, what's your funniest moment you've ever had?
I don't know. There was one when I was in second grade. I was in Oklahoma City playing, and it was halftime. My stomach was hurt really bad, and so I went to the bathroom, and I didn't come back the rest of the game. Nah, like, it wasn't even like, it was like no toilet paper in there.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to get up. You know what I'm saying? So I literally just sat in there. I was just sitting there like this, just waiting for somebody to help me. And they're hoping somebody could come and grab me, you know, throw some, you know. I was just sitting there, and like, Dad came and was like, "What are you doing? Like, ain't nobody heard from you or whatever." And I was like, "I have no titty." He's like, "Get up and get some," you know what I mean? So he like got something out, and but that was funny. Yeah, but that was one of the funnier memories that I probably had. That was always that's always a funny story to tell. Not too many people know that I did that.
Yeah. While I was writing that question, I was trying to figure out, like, if you asked me that, I don't even know what mine would be.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't. Like, it's kind of hard to, like
recollect some of those memories.
Figure out which one was the funniest when you probably had so many.
For real. What, never mind. Oh, I was about to ask you a question. Never mind. I was going to ask you one.
So your last bonus question. So the NBA is doing a bubble situation since the coronavirus. So in your coronavirus bubble, who would be your teammates?
Like, period? Like NBA or just like my like...
Or 4 teammates. So you're a part of their team. So you have 4 teammates to pick from, currently.
Okay.
Who would be your teammates?
I don't know if you meant like team. Okay.
So if you play in the 2, you got to figure out everything else.
So the ones have to be Damian Lillard, probably. I love Damian Lillard. If I'm running the 2, I'm going to be small.
Or whatever.
LeBron will be the 3. I'll have to go with AD running the 4. And then the 5 would probably be Steven Adams. Yeah, that would be my current.
Yeah.
Old school would be Magic running the 1. Me, I guess, at the 2. I couldn't even imagine playing with some of these guys. Right. Mike would have to be at the... Mike would be at the 2. I'll be at the 3. And then Tim Duncan would be at the 4. And then Shaq would be at the 5.
Both of them are pretty good.
Not a lot of shooting.
I mean, both teams, though. I mean...
That would probably be my 5.
Yeah.
If I had to be in a little bubble with them.
Yeah.
And if I have to have a 6-man, Jamal Crawford would probably be on both of those squads. Well, Jamal Crawford be on my current. The old school would be Vinny Johnson. He would be my sixth man coming off the bench if I played like in the 80s.
Right,
90s.
right.
So those would probably be it. So, yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
So how was your recruitment process?
I mean,
we never really talked about it.
I mean, I had some interest from some other schools. I mean, I'm at USAO right now. And, you know, I was at a tournament, and they were actually watching me hit first. And then they didn't even know I pitched until, like, the second game, and they both came back. And then they talked to me after that game and, you know, wanted to, like, get my information and stuff. Yeah. And it kind of just grew from there. I mean, I had a school in North Carolina, one down in Corpus Christi. And I knew I didn't want to go too far from home. So, you know,
Were there, like, offers days just, like, just talking
like,
at them? Or
talking,
did you kind of, like, was like, I don't even want to do it?
Well, we were, like, I, like, filled out their, like, recruitment questionnaire thing. And then they started emailing me and wanting my, like, information, like, coaches, like, high school coaches and stuff.
That process takes so
But
long.
I knew I didn't want to go that long, so I didn't even, they asked me to come on a visit, and I didn't want to do it.
But some of those visits, man, like, some of the schools, they was like, hey, it's going to be, like, you and, like, 6 other people. And I was like, what? Like, no. Yeah. Like, I don't, you know, this is my visit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's kind of like a special thing when you go on them.
Yeah, I was kind of hard-headed at mine. You know, it was some stuff I was looking for, and they didn't kind of have it, you know. It took forever for me to make a decision, though. You know
See, like,
mean?
When I went to USAO for my official visit, actually tore my ACL, and I was on crutches at the time.
Yeah.
And so I went there, and I actually just, like, it was 45 minutes away from home, and, you know, it kind of checked off everything for me.
Yeah.
And I just really liked the school, and I'm...
See, mine was no different. I wanted to get away for the first year.
Because I committed my junior year, so I committed pretty early.
Yeah, it's because, you know, that was my junior year. I didn't have really any. I mean, there was, like, some people, like, that was like, hey, you pretty good. Like, what's up? You know what I mean? But I was, like...
It was nothing just solid.
It wasn't nothing, like, it was nothing serious. Like, they're like, yeah, I'm going to hit you up. Like, you know, we'll call you, and they never kind of did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, but right this summer, heading into my seniors, when I kind of got all, like, the stuff. You know what I mean? So...
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of wanted to get away and look at different things, meet new people. I guess it was Kansas, I guess. But, you know, it was only 4 hours away.
It's just like a different experience.
Yeah. I mean, I learned a lot up there.
Yeah.
Basketball-wise. Guarding Tyler Zen all the time. He was good.
Now you're back home.
Now I'm back here like an hour away.
Yeah.
So it was right up the street.
I mean, it's always good to, like, adventure out and figure out, like, what you want for yourself.
People asked me, they was like, is it, like, were you homesick? I was like, nah, not really.
I mean, everyone's different with that stuff.
I was homesick the first, like,
right.
week. I mean, I didn't mind being up there. You know, there's just a lot of extra stuff that kind of happened and everything. And, like, Grandpa having a stroke and me just coming back and, you know, all that, just different stuff. Like, it was... You know, it was probably time for me to probably come back. And Mackey's, like I said, they're really good. So lucky enough to be there now. So
yeah.
They, you know,
I think
they could have went anywhere different direction, but they chose me. So,
right.
So you know, but yeah. So what is? I have one more question.
Okay.
So what is some of the things they don't think like athletes like go through, like just people watching?
Oh. You mean like non-athletes at like college, or do you mean just like
like period that like people don't understand about like college because we both go to small but like dominant schools,
right?
You know what I mean? So like how what are they like? What are some stuff that you think like that?
I mean, I don't think people realize how much like we have on our plate.
Yeah,
like they always think like
this is D1 but like if it's not D1, it's not.
Yeah, that too. But I think the biggest thing is people think like student athletes like should be focused more than anyone, which I do agree with that. And it motivates us being in a sport. Like, you have to make good grades. But, like, they also don't realize how much we have on our plate. They think it's just...
Yeah, it was busy.
I mean, you have study hall, you have 6 a.m.s, you have lifting, practice, class from 8 to 3 or whatever it is. And then you have to find places to eat. do your homework, stuff like that. It's a bunch.
Yeah.
It takes a while to get adjusted. For me,
Yeah.
it took till my sophomore year.
Yeah,
It took my whole freshman year.
Yeah, because people don't understand. Like, there's a bunch of people at small schools that could have probably played at a D1 or whatever. But
Right.
just because you're D1 don't mean that you're just really that good. I mean, I played against a lot of D1 guys, and I was like, he all right, you know what I'm saying? But basketball's one of those deals. Like, it's kind of like a project sport. Like, if you're 6'6", 6'7", and look athletic, I mean, the coaches
Yeah, it's
start
a little
pouring
bit.
into
Yeah,
you.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's whatever. But, like, there's been guys I'm just like, he's going to so-and-so. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I don't know how softball kind of works with some of that stuff.
I mean, it's
but-
not really, like, height or weight dependent,
Right.
like to some sports is. Like, football, it's kind of weight dependent,
Yeah,
height
basketball,
dependent.
yeah, height and weight,
But,
for
like,
sure.
softball, it's kind of just, like, based on what you can do,
Yeah.
And how dedicated you really are. But, like you said, just because you're going to a D1 doesn't mean an NAIA school can't beat that
But
team.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like northern D3 schools that play D1s and beat the D1 schools,
Right,
and they're at a
right.
D3 school. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well, and you never know, like, what athletes just didn't want to go D1.
Right.
There's probably some in NAIs and D2s or whatever that were really just focused on their careers afterwards that just was like, I want to go closer to home
I'll
or
take that
something
back.
like
On
that.
that first question, who like killed me was Cameron Hunt. He was the
Oh,
he
yeah.
was the NAIA Player of the Year and unanimous. Like he was like that dude. It makes me feel better that he averaged like 30 and like 8 his senior year. And now he's like on the top tier like Germany team. So yeah, he was the dude.
I mean, you always have a few people that do
He
that
does,
too,
you guys
so.
have, I mean, it happens. I mean, that's why people like, you get dunked on, or you got crawled. I mean, it's like, if you play against real, it's like if you never get a home run hit off of you, or you never, get dunked on or crawl. Like, it's gonna happen. Like,
Right.
if you don't, like, you probably need to find somewhere else to play.
Yeah, you're not
you know
playing
what I'm saying?
tough
You're not
enough.
playing.
You're not challenging yourself.
Right. So, I was like, it's just another thing. That's 2 points, or block shot's not gonna take a point off our board. So, I mean, it happens.
It happens. Everything happens.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's always been I think that's why I'm so tough. But not tough to guard, I guess, but like mentality-wise, when I'm like playing and scoring, I mean, there's nothing really you can do as I gotten older, junior, senior year to like now.
To like irritate you.
If you block my shot 6 times, so what? I mean,
Well,
I'm gonna keep attacking.
That's kind of how I am. I've always like had the mentality of like not like that, but like it's a game.
Yeah.
We aren't playing for our lives. Like, it's a game and it's supposed to be fun, so there's no reason to be upset about a block shot or a home run getting hit off of you.
Yeah.
It's how you like respond after that.
Yeah, because I wish I'd have known that my sophomore year. Because if I got my shot blocked, man, I was just like, oh, like, how did that happen?
You're right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so, I mean, you just grow up. You try to figure it out.
Right.
So then you be like, well, I got to dish it to him. You know what I'm saying? I got to stop him. You know what I'm saying? So
kind of motivates you.
Right.
Like, whatever happens, and then you're like, motivates you to what you do next.
Yeah, for real. So this is fun.
Yeah.
Interview.
So this was a fun interview. So since I interviewed him, he interviewed me
Like 2 months ago.
a while back.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put the link in the description, and y'all go check out that video.
Yeah. So.
Thank you. Please subscribe.